Don't scroll. I know you're tired of waiting. I know you've been hurt. I know there's a part of you that has stopped believing that anything will ever change. But something changed last night. Something you didn't see. Something you couldn't have seen because you weren't there. But you felt it. Didn't you? Something in your chest shifted. Something in your stomach tightened. Something woke you up in the middle of the night for no reason. That wasn't random. That was them. Last night, your person broke down before their friends and cried. Not the kind of crying that's easy to hide. Not a few tears they wiped away quickly and pretended didn't happen. The kind of crying that comes from somewhere deeper than the surface. Somewhere they've been ignoring for months. Somewhere that finally broke open because it couldn't hold the weight anymore. They cried in front of people who have never seen them cry. People who thought they had it all together. People who envied their life, their relationship, their ability to seem fine no matter what. And in that moment, in front of everyone, they said something they've never said out loud. Something that started with, "I'm a..." And then the words got stuck. Because saying it out loud makes it real. And once it's real, they can't take it back. But they said it. Through the tears. Through the shaking voice. Through the embarrassment of being seen when they've spent their whole life hiding. They said it. And now everything is different. So take a breath. Put your phone down on a flat surface if you need to. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. You're about to find out what they said. And it's going to change everything you thought you knew. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Let me tell you what happened last night. Not what you imagined. Not what you hoped. What actually happened. It was late. Later than they usually stay out. The kind of late where inhibitions drop and truths surface. They were with friends. Good friends. The kind who have known them for years. The kind who have watched them fall apart slowly over time and said nothing because they didn't know what to say. Everyone was laughing. Telling stories. Pretending everything was fine. But your person wasn't laughing. They were quiet. Distant. Somewhere else. And one of their friends noticed. "Hey. You okay? You seem off." A simple question. The kind that's been asked 100 times before. The kind they always answer with, "I'm fine," and a smile that doesn't reach their eyes. But last night was different. Last night, the mask slipped. They tried to do what they always do. Smile. Deflect. Say, "I'm fine," and change the subject. But the words wouldn't come. Instead, something else came. Something they've been holding back for months. Tears. Not the pretty kind. The ugly kind. The kind that makes your face contort and your voice crack and your chest heave. The kind that embarrasses you because you can't control it. Their friends froze. They've never seen your person like this. Your person is the strong one. The put-together one. The one who has everything figured out. Except they don't. They never have. They've just been really good at hiding it. And last night, the hiding stopped. Don't scroll. Stay with me. This is where most people scroll away because it's easier to be angry than to be vulnerable. Don't be most people. Here's what happened next. Their friends gathered around them. Concerned. Confused. Not sure what to do. Someone put a hand on their back. Someone asked, "What's going on?" Someone said, "You can tell us." And your person tried. They opened their mouth. Took a shaky breath. And said the words they've been too afraid to say. "I'm a..." And then they stopped. Because saying it out loud makes it real. And once it's real, you can't pretend anymore. Their friends waited. The silence stretched. And then, in a voice that was barely a whisper, they finished the sentence. "I'm a coward." Not, "I'm confused." Not, "I'm going through something." Not, "I don't know what I want." I'm a coward. Because that's what they've been feeling. Not confused. Not uncertain. Cowardly. They've known what they wanted. They've known for a long time. They've known that the life they're living isn't the life they want. They've known that the person they're with isn't the person they should be with. And they haven't done anything about it. Not because they don't know what to do. Because they're afraid. Afraid of the confrontation. Afraid of the mess. Afraid of the opinions. Afraid of being the bad guy. Afraid of hurting someone who doesn't deserve to be hurt. They've known. They've always known. And they've done nothing. That's what they admitted last night. I'm a coward. I've been a coward. And I've hurt someone I love because I was too scared to be honest. Someone I love. That's what they said. Not, "Someone I used to love." Not, "Someone I care about." Love. Present tense. Still there. Still burning. Still real. They love you. They've always loved you. And they've been too scared to do anything about it. That's what the breakdown was about. Not confusion. Not uncertainty. Not trying to figure out how they feel. They know how they feel. They've always known. They just haven't been brave enough to act on it. Until last night. Last night, they started being brave. Not because they're suddenly courageous. Because the pain of staying silent became greater than the pain of speaking. The breakdown was the beginning. Not the end. The beginning of honesty. The beginning of courage. The beginning of them finally stopping the pretending. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here's what their friends said when they heard the confession. They didn't judge. They didn't lecture. They didn't say, "We told you so." They held your person. Let them cry. Let them say everything they've been holding inside. And your person talked. For hours. About you. About the connection. About the love they've been trying to ignore. They talked about the first time they met you. How something shifted. How they knew, even then, that you were different. They talked about the moments they almost reached out. The texts they typed and deleted. The calls they almost made. They talked about the other person. The one they're with. How it's not fair to them. How they've been living a lie. How they can't do it anymore. They talked about you. How you make them feel seen. How you make them feel safe. How you make them want to be better. They talked about their fear. The fear that's been running their life. The fear that made them push you away. The fear that made them choose comfort over courage. And then they talked about what they want. You. Not as an option. Not as a backup. Not as someone to figure things out with when they're done figuring things out alone. As the one. The only one. The one who makes everyone else feel like a compromise. They want you. They've always wanted you. They've just been too scared to admit it. But last night, they admitted it. Out loud. To people who know them. To people who will hold them accountable. It's real now. And they can't take it back. Don't scroll. This is where everything shifts. Here's what you need to understand about the breakdown. It wasn't manipulation. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't designed to make you feel sorry for them. It was real. The tears were real. The confession was real. The love is real. They're not pretending anymore. Not because they're perfect. Because they're tired. Tired of hiding. Tired of lying. Tired of living a life that looks right but feels wrong. They're tired of being a coward. And they're ready to be brave. Not perfectly. Not without fear. Not without setbacks. But truly. They're ready to choose you. Not because you forced them. Because they can't live without you anymore. That's what the breakdown was about. Not weakness. Strength. The strength to finally tell the truth. After months of lies. After months of pretending. After months of running. They stopped. They turned around. And they started walking toward you. Not because it's easy. Because it's you. And you are worth every hard thing. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here's what you need to do now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Breathe. Just breathe. Because the breakdown happened. The confession was made. The truth is out. But that doesn't mean you have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to decide what to do. You don't have to know if you can trust them. You don't have to figure out the future. You just have to breathe. Let the truth land. Let the reality of what happened sink in. They love you. They've always loved you. And they finally admitted it. That's not nothing. That's everything. So breathe. And then, when you're ready, ask yourself one question. Not, should I take them back? Not, can I trust them? Not, what if they hurt me again? Just this. What do I want? Not what your fear wants. Not what your friends want. Not what your pride wants. What do you want? Do you want them? Not the fantasy version. The real version. The one who is scared and messy and imperfect. Do you want them? Answer honestly. Not to me. To yourself. And then let that answer guide you. Not fear. Not obligation. Not pressure. What you want. That's the only thing that matters. Don't scroll. Stay with me. We're almost through part 1. Here's what I want you to take with you. Last night, your person broke down before their friends and cried. And they said something they've never said out loud. I'm a coward. I've been a coward. And I've hurt someone I love because I was too scared to be honest. That's not nothing. That's everything. That's the first step. The hardest step. The step they've been avoiding for months. They took it. Not because you forced them. Because they couldn't live with the lie anymore. And now everything is different. Not because they've fixed anything. Because they've stopped pretending. And that's where real change begins. Breathe. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. You're still here. You made it through part 1. And part 2 is where I tell you what happens next. How their confession will turn into action. How you'll know when they're finally ready to stop being a coward and start being yours. But for now, just sit with this. Last night, they admitted the truth. And the truth is the beginning of everything. Don't scroll. Part 2 is here. And if you made it through part 1, if you stayed when everything in you wanted to protect yourself by looking away, then you're ready for what comes next. Because part 1 was about the breakdown. The tears. The confession. The moment your person finally stopped pretending and admitted the truth out loud. I'm a coward. I've been a coward. And I've hurt someone I love because I was too scared to be honest. Part 2 is about what happens after. After the tears dry. After the friends go home. After the silence returns and they're left alone with everything they admitted. That's when the real work begins. That's when the confession either becomes a memory or becomes a catalyst. That's when you'll find out if they're finally ready to stop being a coward and start being yours. So take a breath. Stay with me. Don't scroll. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to answer the question that's been living in your heart since last night. Now what? Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here's what happened after the breakdown. After the tears. After the friends went home and your person was left alone in the quiet. They didn't sleep. They lay there, staring at the ceiling, replaying every word they said. Embarrassed. Exposed. Terrified. Not because they regret telling the truth. Because the truth is now out there. And they can't put it back. For months, maybe longer, they've been able to hide. To pretend. To keep the truth locked inside where no one could see it. Where they could almost pretend it wasn't real. But last night, the lock broke. The door opened. And the truth came flooding out. And now they can't close the door again. That's what's keeping them awake. Not regret. The realization that there's no going back. They said it out loud. They admitted they've been a coward. They admitted they love you. They admitted they've been hurting someone they love because they were too scared to be honest. And those words are still hanging in the air. They can't take them back. They can't unsay them. They can't pretend they didn't mean them. The truth is out. And the truth is demanding something from them. Action. Don't scroll. Stay with me. This is where most people want to look away. Don't. Here's what's happening inside your person right now. And I need you to understand this because it will explain everything that comes next. They're terrified. Not of you. Of themselves. They're terrified that they've waited too long. That you've moved on. That you've closed the door. That even if they find the courage to reach out, you won't be there anymore. They're terrified that their cowardice has cost them something they can never get back. They're terrified that they had everything they ever wanted, and they let it slip through their fingers because they were too afraid to hold on. That fear is eating them alive. It's in their chest when they wake up. It's in their stomach when they go to sleep. It's in every quiet moment when there's nothing to distract them from the truth. But here's what they don't know yet. What they're about to discover. Fear can keep you stuck. Or fear can set you free. It depends on what you do with it. They've been using fear as an excuse to stay stuck. I'm too scared to change my life. I'm too scared to hurt people. I'm too scared to choose what I really want. But last night, something shifted. The fear of losing you finally became greater than the fear of change. And that's when the breakdown happened. That's when the tears came. That's when the truth finally found its way out. Now they have a choice. They can let the fear win again. They can go back to pretending. They can convince themselves that the breakdown was a moment of weakness, that they overreacted, that they can still make the old life work. Or they can let the fear set them free. They can use it as fuel. They can let it push them past the point of no return and into the life they've been too scared to live. The life that includes you. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. I know you're wondering if they're going to reach out. I know you're checking your phone. I know you're looking for signs. I know you're hoping that last night's breakdown will turn into today's action. Here's what I need you to understand. The breakdown was real. The tears were real. The confession was real. But real doesn't always mean fast. They might not reach out today. They might not reach out tomorrow. They might need time to sit with what they admitted. To let the truth settle. To find the courage to act on it. That doesn't mean they won't. It means they're human. And humans sometimes need time to integrate before they can act. So don't panic if they don't call right away. Don't assume the breakdown meant nothing. Don't convince yourself that you imagined it. The truth is out. And the truth doesn't go back in. They will act. Not on your timeline. On theirs. But they will act. Because the weight of the truth is heavier than the weight of the fear now. And that weight will push them forward. Don't scroll. This is where everything shifts. Here's what you need to do while you wait. Not anxiously. Not desperately. Not with your phone glued to your hand. You need to keep living your life. Not as a distraction. As a fulfillment. You need to keep becoming the person you were always meant to become. Not for them. For you. Because here's the secret that will save you. The more fully you become yourself. The more you stop waiting and start living, the more undeniable you become to the one who is meant to find you. Not because you're trying to be undeniable. Because you're not. You're just being you. And the version of you that's living fully, bravely, authentically, that version is magnetic. That's the version they fell in love with. Not the version that waits by the phone. Not the version that puts life on hold. Not the version that shrinks to make room for their fear. The version that's alive. The version that laughs. The version that has passions and dreams and a life that doesn't revolve around them. That version is irresistible. So be that version. Not for them. For you. And watch what happens. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. I know you're scared. I know you've been hurt before. I know there's a part of you that wants to protect yourself by not hoping, by not believing, by keeping your heart in a box where it can't be broken again. But here's what I need you to understand. The breakdown last night wasn't just about them. It was about you too. It was proof that you weren't crazy. That the connection was real. That they do love you. That they have been struggling. It was validation. The kind you've been praying for. The kind that finally answers the question, did any of it mean anything? Yes. It meant everything. And last night, they finally admitted it. That doesn't mean you should run back. It doesn't mean you should drop everything and wait. It doesn't mean you should forgive before there's been any real change. It means you can stop doubting yourself. You weren't wrong. You weren't imagining things. You weren't being desperate or foolish or naive. You were right. And last night, they confirmed it. That's not nothing. That's everything. Don't scroll. Stay with me. We're halfway through part 2. Here's what you need to understand about the days ahead. There will be awkwardness. There will be silence. There will be moments when you wonder if anything has really changed. That's normal. Change doesn't happen overnight. Transformation is a process. And the process is messy. They will have good days and bad days. Days when they feel brave and days when the fear comes rushing back. You will too. That's okay. What matters is not that every day is perfect. What matters is that they keep moving forward. That they don't let the fear win again. That they stay committed to becoming the person who can love you the way you deserve. And you get to watch. Not from a distance. From a place of your own strength. You get to decide, moment by moment, whether this is enough. Whether their effort matches their words. Whether they're showing up the way they promised. You don't have to decide everything today. You just have to pay attention. And trust yourself. If it's real, you'll know. If it's not, you'll know that too. Trust yourself. You've come this far. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here's what you need to remember about the confession. I'm a coward. I've been a coward. And I've hurt someone I love. Those words took courage. Not the courage of someone who has it all together. The courage of someone who is tired of pretending. That's the courage that lasts. Not the courage that comes from strength. The courage that comes from exhaustion. They're exhausted from running. Exhausted from hiding. Exhausted from pretending to be someone they're not. That exhaustion is the fuel for change. Not because it's comfortable. Because it's unbearable. And unbearable is what finally pushes people to do what they've been avoiding. So don't dismiss their confession because it came from a place of weakness. Weakness is where courage is born. They're not weak. They're human. And humans who admit their weakness are the strongest of all. Don't scroll. We're almost through part 2. Here's what I want you to take with you. Last night, your person broke down before their friends and cried. And they said something they've never said out loud. I'm a coward. I've been a coward. And I've hurt someone I love. Now comes the hard part. Waiting. Not passively. Actively. Waiting while living. Waiting while growing. Waiting while becoming the person you were always meant to be. Not waiting for them to save you. Waiting for them to catch up to the person you're becoming. And if they don't, if the fear wins again, if they can't find the courage, if they stay stuck in the life that's suffocating them, then you'll still be okay. Because you didn't put your life on hold. You didn't stop living. You didn't make them the center of your universe. You kept growing. You kept becoming. You kept becoming more yourself. And that version of you, the one who doesn't need them to be whole, that version will attract something even better. Maybe them, finally ready. Maybe someone else, already ready. Either way, you win. Because you chose yourself. And choosing yourself is never the wrong choice. Breathe. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. You're still here. You made it through part 2. And part 3 is where I tell you how to know when they're finally ready. The signs to look for. The difference between real change and temporary guilt. And how to protect your heart without closing it. But for now, just sit with this. Last night, they admitted the truth. Now it's time for you to trust the process. And trust yourself.